Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last episode in SAP UI5, we have talked about how to create a Google Map integration within SAP UI5. In today's session, we will go ahead and discuss about basics of OData services. What is an OData service and what is the use of it and how can we use it in our projects? Before we begin, let's come back to the architecture where we talked about the server and client. By far, the Fiori application which we created, it's only using the local data. So this is a Fiori app which we have created, and this Fiori app is only right now using the local data. So we have a local JSON file, and this local JSON file is part of the project itself, which is your fruits.json. Now in real world, this is not the case all the time. We don't want to load the data from a local file. Rather, the data is kept in your SAP system. So you have your SAP ABAP system. You also call it as ECC system, or some people call it as Suite on HANA system, or it could be an S4 HANA system. This is your actual backend system where data lies. All the data is stored in the database table in such a system. Yeah, this is where all the data is stored. This is your database. And now the Fiori application needs to talk to this system. Let's imagine the very famous table. Anybody? What is the table to store material information in ERP? I'm sure must have worked or seen or talked about it in your life if you work with SAP. Yes, it's Mara table. Let's imagine the data is stored in the Mara table. The material number is the primary key here. There is MEKTL material group. Yeah, a lot of different properties are in there. We never want to read the data hard coded. We never want to hard code the data in our app like we did by far. This is the reason we now need a technique. By the help of that, we can bring this real time data from the database system via the application server to the front end server to the SAP Fiori application. So SAP Fiori becomes your new front end. You remember the presentation layer, the application layer, and the database layer? SAP Fiori becomes new presentation layer for us. All the data which you have it. In fact, this is a bi-directional arrow. I should put it a bi-directional arrow because the data flow between both directions, both between the app to the backend and backend to the app and vice versa. So that's what exactly happening. You're gonna bring this data and display this data over here. But what is the protocol for communication? The communication protocol here is HTTP protocol, hypertext transmission protocol, which is the same protocol used for internet. And now to expose the data via HTTP protocol, there are two options to choose from. The option number one is called SOAP service. It's called service oriented architecture based services, which SAP NetWeaver has enabled years back. But now SOAP is becoming obsolete. The better way to share the data is called OData service. Okay, this is another way. Now, what is OData? Let's have a quick introduction of what is OData service. So, OData stands for Open Data Protocol. It is an open source to share the data via internet, via HTTP. I would say it will be the right term to use. It allows us to expose, or it follows the REST protocol. HTTP is also actually a REST protocol. It's a REST option. What is REST stands for? REST stands for representational state transfer. That's what REST stands for. Representational state transfer. What does it mean? It is also known to be stateless communication. What does the stateful and stateless communication means? Yeah. Let's have a quick look at it. Anybody, have you ever observed in SAP that after some time, if you are not touching your SAP GUI window, you launch a SAP GUI session, and in that SAP GUI session, after some time you will observe that it gives you timeout issue. Have you ever observed timeout issue in SAP? Right? Not just by debugging, also in inactivity for long time. If you're not touching the system for a long time, you get a timeout issue. The system times out. Have you ever observed a timeout issue in your life in SAP? Anybody? Yes, many of you. It times out after some time automatically, or try to log in with same user in another machine and it gives you pop-up, and now you can choose terminate my existing logons, and it will time out the existing logons, terminate them. Why? Because SAP system stores the session, and a session contains the information about user and parameters. It is always a stateful communication. To understand the stateful and stateless communication, let's try to take an example. I have my childhood friend. His name is Ganesh. Okay. Let's take his name as Sam. Okay. So this is my childhood friend. His name is Sam. Once upon a time, nearby my house, there was a nice coffee corner shop open. Okay. Let's call it as Starbucks coffee. Anybody fan of Starbucks coffee here? Or CCD? You might have heard about CCD. So Starbucks coffee house opened near my house. Sam comes to me, hey, can you come with me? We'll have a coffee. So we went into Starbucks together. We had a nice cup of coffee. We enjoyed our coffee and we came back home. Next day, I got a taste of that coffee and I called up Sam, hey Sam, what about today once again? Next day again we go, again we ordered a coffee, and again we drink our favorite coffee and we come back home. Next day again, Sam came to my house and say, hey, why not about third time? Now this time when I go to Starbucks, I ask the Starbucks staff, we are coming since last 2 days and you are still asking us which coffee to prepare. Right guys? Starbucks is asking me which coffee to prepare, though we are going continuously since last 2 days. Are you getting this point? So what is Sam's communication with the Starbucks? Is it a stateful communication or is it a stateless communication? What is this communication, do you think, with the Sam and Starbucks? Stateless it is, guys. Why stateless? Starbucks has no clue of what we have ordered last time because they have thousands of customers, thousands and thousands of customers every day walking into store and drinking different coffees, right? They don't even bother and care who are you and what is your taste and what is your, there is no history with respect to you. There is a history of sales, but there is no history with respect to you. It's a stateless communication. What is stateless communication? You go, you drink, you do whatever you want, and you come back. Starbucks don't care. They have no information about who you are, what do you like, what you don't like, what did you eat last time, what did you drink last time. Are you guys clear? What is a stateless communication? You go, you do whatever you want, and when you come back, Starbucks has no clue what you are doing. Are you guys clear? What type of communication you tell this one is? What type of communication you think is this one is? What do you think? Is it a stateful or a stateless? Perfect answer is a stateless communication. Now, to improve the experience of customer, what Starbucks have done? They have introduced a membership card. Okay, they have introduced a membership card. Now, what happens is this membership card is given to the customer. Now, is a regular customer. The customer walks into the store, gives his or her card. Starbucks punch the card, and now Starbucks knows the complete history of your order. Next time they won't ask you which coffee you want, because they already know you are a fan of latte, you're a fan of cappuccino, you're a fan of probably a cold coffee, and they know that your history clearly sees that you have a pattern of drinking only one type of coffee. They will not ask you again which type of coffee would you like to order, sir, which type of sandwich you would like to eat. They have that history with themselves. Now with your membership card, the moment they punch, they will get the information, your photo, including everything, and with that actually they are doing everything whatever they wish to. This is called stateful communication. Now when you're going, you have a card, and this card is actually having information by which server is able to retrieve that information, and it has the information with itself every time you go. That's a stateful communication. Are you guys clear the difference between stateful and stateless communication with respect to client and server? So here Sam is the client, Starbucks is the server. Is this example clear to everybody? Next time you think about stateful and stateless communication, remember my Starbucks example. You will never get confused. Okay. Now, what do you think? Which type of communication is good for handling massive number of traffic, massive number of users, billions of users coming and connecting? Which type of communication is better? Stateless or stateful? Which type of communication is better? Everybody is saying stateful. No, wrong answer. Stateless is better. Imagine if you have billion coffee drinkers coming to Starbucks, what will be the cost of the card, right? The cost of the card and managing those billions of cards and their database and their history, it's a cost on Starbucks. Don't you think? It's a cost on Starbucks, and this communication becomes very expensive. Are you getting the point? This communication becomes very expensive. That's why websites are cheaper than SAP system. Are you getting the point? SAP systems are expensive as compared to websites. Why? Websites are always stateless communication. And here in SAP, it's a stateful communication, right? Because SAP system is storing the sessions, and whenever your timeout happens, session expires. Okay, so SAP system is a stateful communication and websites are stateless. Why stateless? Because the cost comes down drastically when you have a stateless communication. This guy goes, complete its work, and come back. Server don't know who you were. Server just authenticated you and then given you response back. So it's always a request response. And now the guys, the beauty is even your system is not a large scale system, it can cater to billions of requests. Why? Because you are nowhere storing the state of every user who is coming. Are you guys clear what is the benefit of stateless communication? There are both benefits of stateful also. Stateful, the experience will be better. You don't have to every time do anything. And to improve the experience, of stateless communication, making it stateful, we use in browser called cookie. So there is a concept called cookie, which is nothing but your membership card here. This is your cookie. Every time you're going to server now with the request, you send a cookie. This cookie goes to the server, and with this server knows who are you next time. Yeah. So that is actually stored now with the client itself. The cookie concept in browser, in internet, there is a cookie concept in which the client side stores the cookie, and this cookie is also sent with the request, and server now with that cookie recognizes who you are. Okay. Next time you don't have to, every time you don't have to enter your username password. It is done via the help of cookie. No, that's not, right now not much interested. So in a simple word, I would say cookie makes your rest communication, your stateless communication, or your representational state transfer or rest stateless communication stateful. Okay, that's what the job of cookie is. But cookie is temporary. It has an expiry time. It gets expired after certain period of time. It's not permanent. Okay, very important for many of you to know that. So that's the example of stateless and stateful. Now guys, by far SAP system was stateful. Every time a call comes, you are storing the information pertaining it with you. Where can you see the states in SAP system? How many users are connected to my SAP system? What is that they're doing? You can actually check that state in SAP system. I can show you that. You can go to SM04 transaction code, and there you can find the states. Can you see which user is connected currently by which laptop, and what is that user is running? You see this user running SE24, this user running SE11, this user running a mob 12, running this program. So that's actually your state. Are you guys clear how SAP system works? It's a stateful communication. However, when you want to build a web application or a mobile application, we want to do more of like stateless communication, so that we can cater to billions of users connecting across the world to our server, and our server don't crash because there are billions of users on internet accessing your app. Correct? So that's why our communication has to be stateless. So this is the main difference between REST protocol and your current SAP system protocol. So that is why SAP introduced a new feature called OData service. OData was actually an open data protocol initially built by a company called Oasis. This was a company who has built. Don't relate this with the company Oasis, which launched first SIM card in Rajasthan. It's not that Oasis company, not a telecom company. It is a software company in US which has introduced this protocol called Oasis, and later acquired by anyone? Microsoft. Perfect answer. Which means OData is an industry general term. Many people have this myth that OData is only SAP term. It's a general industry term. Everybody, anyone can build OData service provided you follow OData rules. And it's a protocol now owned by Microsoft. It's an open source. Anyone, any programming language you can use to build OData services. You can use Java. You can use Node.js. You can use C, you can use .NET, you can use ABAP to build OData service. Are you clear? To create an OData service, you can use any programming language. Just to give you a glimpse, I am working on a project here, and this project we have actually built an OData service via Node.js programming. Okay, it's a Node.js project, and here we created OData service via Node.js. In one of my project, I have worked upon Java to create OData services. If you want to learn Java, core Java, and how to create OData service via Java, you can also subscribe my HANA Cloud Platform course. कितना सीखना है? सब कुछ है मेरे पास में आपके लिए. कितना सीखना चाहते हो? You have to decide how much you would like to learn. I have everything for you. कहीं जाने का जरूरत नहीं है. SAP Cloud Platform made easy. This is the course starts with core Java, basic Java I taught, and then I showed you about two frameworks, OData for J and Olingo framework to create OData services in the cloud. Soon I'm also coming to launch a course with Spring Boot framework to create REST APIs and deploy and build an end-to-end cloud application with SAP Cloud Platform. We will be doing that also in upcoming days. That one will be focusing on microservice based architecture into the cloud. Okay, so you got to learn. You can learn it easily with Java, with Node.js. Node.js also I have a course which is HANA native development. There I've explained Node.js. Then you have .NET and C, which I have not used anywhere right now to create OData, and ABAP anyway. We're gonna learn here how to create OData service. So don't confuse. Don't have this myth that OData is only pertaining to SAP system. It's an general open source protocol. Anybody, any big company can adapt and use it. Okay, now coming to the option for server. Yeah, server is more important now. Here the comes this comes as server side. So there's a quick question from Naga: what is the difference between JavaScript and Node.js? They both are JavaScript actually. If you see, JS means JavaScript. Node.js is actually a server side programming. So by far you're doing client side programming language, which was clean JavaScript, and now Node.js is used on server side. You forgot, Naga, our class number 5. I have clearly explained the type of JavaScript. This is why I say over a period of time, your entire knowledge will go away. Look at here. Look at here. Why are you not following PPT? Why have you not taken a print of this PPT? Why? You forgot. You forgot. It's all there. You can see. Okay. Now, which technology is better? I would say not a single technology is better today. More idea you have about technology, more expert you will be. There is nothing single which is used today. You need to be full stack developer. At least bare minimum. At least bare minimum you should know three technologies. If you are working in SAP domain, you must know ABAP, and now you must know ABAP on HANA, and then you must know the concept of UI5 and Fiori. These three things are bare minimum today to survive in SAP industry, or if you are in SAP domain, technology side. Okay, these three things are important, and then sky is the limit. You want to do native HANA development, SAP cloud platform development, whatever you wish to, you can accordingly plan your developments. Now coming to the server part, what are the options? So first of all, we need to build some OData services, experience some OData services. What are all the options of server we have? So here, many of you also came back to me when we started training Anubhav, do we need server? When do we need server? Some of you have just wasted your money initially taking server, which was actually not used in most of our course. And now it is the time I would myself tell you that we would need server. So what are all the server options we have? Yeah. What are all the server options we have? I have saved a lot of your costs without giving you the server. Those who have not opted for server, now this is the right time to go with server. Option number 1. We are Indians, guys. Indian is a person who is known for saving the cost. How do you recognize an Indian guy? An Indian guy is a guy who used the toothpaste till the last bit of the toothpaste left into the tube. Even after that, he used something called rolling balun to squeeze the toothpaste out of the toothpaste. Indian is a guy who used the shampoo till the last drop of the shampoo, and after that is not coming out. He puts the water in the shampoo bottle, shake the shampoo bottle and take out the shampoo out of it. Indian is a guy who use a t-shirt in the night once the t-shirt is becomes old. Even after that, the t-shirt is not good. Indian is a guy who use the t-shirt for Holi, and if it is not even not even wearable, we use the t-shirt as pocha. So we are always tend to save the cost, and we've saved a lot of cost at the beginning, and now it's time to also look at options by which we can save the cost for the server. The first option is free server. Now everybody thinking, wow, no, a free server, wow, wow, wow. Yes guys, free server, but your company server. If you're working in some company, use your company server. That's free for you. Use that. There is nothing like free lunch, of course. So use your company server. If you think your company server is there in your company, you must be working and you must have a server. Use that server. Don't come to me, don't ask me anything. Use that server. That's free for you. Okay, I'm not responsible for anything. Option number two, another option, again, a free server, but that server is actually free. Yes, it is actually free, but with limited functionality. Free server directly from SAP, but with limitation. What is the limitation? The limitation here is we cannot test, okay, we cannot create OData service inside. You cannot go and create OData service inside this server. Not allowed. Then you say, Anubha, why are you telling it's free? Actually, it is helpful or free in context of if you want to practice just the OData read. Okay. If you just want to practice OData read operations, you can use this server. This is called SAP SAP NetWeaver server, which is called ES5 server. This is option number two. Option number three, which is very costly, so very costly option. This would you would end up paying by 9k INR per month for this, and don't think anybody would like to go with this option. It's still choice is yours. I don't mind you going. It's my duty to tell you all the options. In this, you will be able to do everything. You can create, read, update, everything you can do. You can build out a service in backend, everything you can do it. This is your AWS account. Set up your AWS account yourself. It's called Amazon Web Service account. And now here you can deploy SAP system from SAP Cal, Cloud Application Library. How to do, what are all the steps to do that? The steps to do that are given already in one of my video, how to set up your own AWS server. So I'll just open that video quickly in front of all of you. This video is hidden from the YouTube. Actually, I have made this video hidden from the YouTube because I don't want it to give it to everybody. It's there in my ABAP on HANA playlist. You can see it here. ABAP on HANA set up your server. It's unlisted, though still it has 3000 plus views. I don't know how it has got, but yeah, this is the video you can watch to actually create, to actually set up your own server. Watch it from the middle somewhere from the middle. I've started actually it was part of my ABAP on HANA class, so I published the same class on the YouTube. So now if you just check it, this is the server which we have. AWS, you have to set up AWS account. I have spoon feeded in this how to set up your account. They charge you $0.89 per hour. Can you imagine? 0.89, $1 हो गया, 70 रुपया हो गया घंटे का. More you use, more they will charge you, and then $20 minimum they will charge you for sure. Sorry, $50 they will charge you for basic developer support plan, and then $1, about $1 per hour. So your meter will be continuously running, and it is very costly. My last time when I left this server, the bill for this server was 9,000 rupees for me. Okay, 9,000 rupees per month I was paying to Amazon for uses of the services. It actually gives you a computer on internet, which is a very big computer in which SAP system is installed for you. Okay, very costly option. Still, that is also an option you can choose. Yeah. Moving to the next option, option number 4. You can check Google yourself. Lot of vendors are there on internet who give server access. Lot of vendors from Hyderabad. Just search for SAP server access on Google. You'll find lot of vendors on internet. Okay, they will give SAP server access. Okay, from Hyderabad. So this will range between 600 rupees to 800 rupees, but not reliable option. That's why I'm not discussing that option. It's your choice. You can decide whatever you like. So option number 4, which I would recommend, which is recommended, most recommended option, where you can practice everything. All my courses you can practice. All my top 3 courses, which is ABAP on HANA, Fiori Advance with Fiori Security, and SAP UI5, the current course with OData. Everything you can practice in a single box. And the beauty of this server is it is just like your company server. What is the benefit of your company server? You can connect from, what are the benefits? You can connect this from local computers SAP GUI. Yeah, like you can see here, I have connected to this server from my local SAP GUI. I have not used any remote connection. Most of the Hyderabad server, they will give you remote connection, which is not suitable for practicing. You will get irritated with its speed. It's like dumping your money. So this server speed is very good, and you can connect from local computer. It not that all, you can also connect to SAP Fiori Launchpad also from local computer. Yeah, so from my local computer I can connect to SAP Fiori Launchpad also. You can see it's starting my Launchpad. So just go there, and now you'll see it will also connect just like your company environment. The way you feel in your company environment, you can work with this server also as if like you are in your company environment. So you can see it's starting the Launchpad. So it is latest SAP Fiori 2.0 with Fiori Launchpad inside. All the Bleeze theme, everything is in place. It's an S4HANA server with complete fully activated appliance. It's not a pirated server running in backdate which you get from Hyderabad. It's not that. It's a server with license from SAP. That is the reason we can access it via internet directly. Okay, it's a cloud facing server. You can connect directly from your local computer as if your company server. You can also practice, you can also connect it via Eclipse. You can also connect, of course, you can connect it from your local web IDE, or also from web IDE in the cloud, including full stack. You can also have access to the Launchpad from local computer. Okay, we will give you also instructions to install SAP GUI. Don't worry, those who don't have SAP GUI in their computer, don't worry, we'll give you also SAP GUI free along with this server access. You can install SAP GUI in your personal laptop. You don't need office laptop. You can connect from your personal laptop also. Okay, and this is SAP S4 HANA. Actually the server is actually SAP S4 HANA 1809 on premise SPS 1 SPS 0 fully activated appliance. It's not pirated, not running in backdate. Again I repeat, fully activated one. So all the people who know S4 HANA, they want to practice S4 HANA related stuff, they can also do that. That's not all. You also get SAP HANA DB access from SAP HANA Studio, pre-installed in RDP, remote desktop. So only for HANA you have to go to remote desktop. that also you will get. So these are all the benefits of this server. I am personally spending my amount on this server. Every month I am buying a subscription for this server. Again, I repeat, this is, don't ask for discount, don't ask this for myself, because I am not the vendor of the server. I am also purchasing from somewhere else. Okay, initially we started discussing about the fee for this. They've started about 3000 INR per month per user, but now we are kind of taking 40 to 50 user a month for this server. So they have given us a special discount of 500 bucks, and now this is 2500 INR per month per user. Don't ask for discount. We are not the vendor of this server. This is what the cost of the server per month per user is. Unlimited uses. In Amazon, more you use, meter is running, they will charge you. Here it's unlimited uses per month. You can use 24 by 7 as much as you want, no limit. 2500. So you see the cost has come down from 9000 to 2500. I would say use your company server, don't contact us for server. Okay, if you don't have company server, if your company server is not equipped enough for you to be able to connect things, you're finding it difficulty, I will not be able to support you any doubt related to your company server. Please understand, I don't have access to your VPN, your company network, and I will not be able to help you anything related to your company server or any of these options. If you want any support, this is the only option I can help, because I have access to this server myself. So I can get into server and check what's going wrong. But none of above option I have access. So I can't support you for any of your questions, doubts, or problems which you will face if you are finding it in the connection. I can only support with this. And for this support also I have a dedicated support colleague. Plus I also have created a nice document for all of you. And that document you all can use easily, follow through the document. And then you can easily connect this server from local machine, including SAP GUI installation. Everything is there. So I will just quickly show you a snapshot of that document. How does the document looks? It explains you complete set of steps. What is that needed to be able to connect to the server, get an access? Everything is explained in that actually. So let me just quickly open that up, the document for you, so that you guys will know. Just open that up. And this is the document guys which I prepared for you guys. As for on a OP server access, there are a lot of YouTube videos I have connected here, which are private videos with this server, which will help you to understand what is the way of communicating to this server, how to connect. Okay, everything is explained over there. Complete server IP address detail you can access from local computer, including SAP GUI installation also we are giving to you. You can install in your personal laptop and practice this. Yeah, all of this is there in this document. Okay, we will give you the link of this document or everything related to this document once you opt for server access. So how do you opt for it now? So you have to contact my colleague for getting this server access. Uday sir, I think you have already taken, you have paid for server access. Just talk to Meenakshi, she will activate your user. We have already received your payment. I think when you subscribe for course, that time you already opted. So you don't have to pay again. Don't worry. It's reserved. I saved your cost already. I have not activated your user till now. So your cost is safe with us. You can utilize your credits for activating your user. So how do you pay for server cost? What is the process to taking? What is the process to getting? Everything is, you can contact my colleague. Her name is Miss Meenakshi on install.abap@gmail.com. Just shoot up a mail to her, keeping me in CC, and mention that you want the server access. If she quote you 3000 bucks, don't worry. You tell my name that Anubhav told me the cost is 2500 INR. Why are you quoting 3000? I have already given her instruction to check whether you are my student. She will offer the server in this price. But if you are not already a student of one of my training, you can still opt for server access at 3000 bucks INR per month per user. So those who are my student, for them a special discount of 500 per month applies, and you can take it at this rate. Those who are not taking any training courses till date, for them the cost will be 3000. So your colleagues, your friends, if they need server access, they can also avail it without taking training. For them, the special price does not apply. It will be 3000 bucks per month per user. Again, it's per month cost, guys. Within the month, it's unlimited usage, 24 by 7, as much as you want. So that's the server options you have. You can decide which one you say. I would say option number one is best for you. If your company gives you the server, that is best for you. Option number two also I will show you in a minute how to get an access for this. But again, you can't practice everything over here. So again, you will stuck, just practice 10%, you will stuck here. You will not be able to do everything. Okay. So let me start with option number two. Where can you get that option? How to start with this ES5 free instance provided by SAP to access that server. So for that, let's quickly go to Google and search for SAP ES5 server, ES5 server. And you gonna get a nice blog from SAP about access of this free ES5 instance. It's a free tier instance by SAP. Once again, I repeat, you will not be able to practice everything in that server because it's a display only server. You can only practice basic get operations, read operations, rest all. It's like read only mode. You cannot practice everything in that server. It's only read only mode server. That is the reason you can't practice everything on that server. So now just search for that. You can see SAP ES5 devcenter.com, and now you see SAP NetWeaver demo ES5 now is beta. Okay. And there is also a link to create your account. So we'll use this one, and I'm going to launch this link. So step one is to create your free account, sign up with a free account on the gateway demo system. It also gives you the instructions to do that. So option number two, let me explain you steps to use option number two. Sign up a free account from SAP cloud site. Instructions are given here. You can see here are the instructions. Go to this page, go to this login page, registration page. Let me open the registration page. So after that, you get this kind of link, and here you will have your user. If your user is already registered, just select the agreement, click on register. You're going to get your username, email ID, and temporary password. Yeah. So then you can go to step 3 and go to this web GUI, SAP web GUI, which runs SAP GUI in the browser, and you can then connect. So I come here and just put my uh, SDN ID. You must have to have an SDN subscription already. So if you have the SDN subscription, you're already registered with sapsdn.com, then you can come and use this. So I forgot my password. Let me just check if I do remember. Yeah, I remember. And now I just connect with my SDN ID, and now you'll see it will show me my username. This is my username for ES5 server, which is a free server provided by SAP. Let me take this username here, put it. And now next is I can just say reset my password, please. Yeah. And once I reset my password, I have now my password with me. Oh, it will send an email, of course, to your email ID to reset the password. You have to activate your account, and this is your user ID for free server. And then, as I mentioned, open this HTML GUI in the browser, and now you can connect to the server. So let me just pass my username password, click on log on, and it will connect me to the server. You can see it's launching HTML GUI, which is a web GUI. We call it as GUI for HTML. You can, without SAP GUI, you can run the complete transactions, everything in the browser itself. So this is a free server offering by SAP. It's a NetWeaver 7.51. Again, free, but nothing like free. You can't practice everything. You can just simply practice get scenarios. You can't go to any transaction code in this server. Your user doesn't have authorizations to do that. Okay. You can't do that, guys. There's no possibility you can try those some things which we will be doing actually. Okay, so you can't go to any transaction code that doesn't give you authorization except SE11. In SE11 also, I think they won't allow you to create anything. If you try to create a Z table, it will give you an authorization error. Let me try that. It'll give you an authorization error. Of course, SAP cannot allow you. You see, you don't have SDevelop authorization, which means you can't build anything. Majority of the time, you don't even have access to transaction codes. Yeah, but but this gives a free OData service which we can use. It's called NW Demo Sample OData service, which we can use to practice basic get operation of OData. So use the server URL. So let me put all these URLs over there. Actually, everything starts from here. This is the link you use. Everything will fall apart accordingly. Okay, this is the one you can use. Okay, now Northwind also I don't recommend, because you will be able to just do a get. Can you edit Northwind service? Can you edit Northwind service? You cannot. You cannot, right? That's not possibility. So we want to do both things, guys. Till date we were doing bowling, and now I will teach you batting. Till date you were focusing on bowling. You were bowling, guys, एंड नाउ वी डू बैटिंग. बैटिंग करना है, आ जाओ मेरे साथ में. एब ऐप में बनाएंगे ओ डेटा साथ में मिलके. We will build OData service together in ABAP language. Till date I was doing bowling, and now I will shift you to batting. And to do this batting, you need equipment, you need bat to do batting. Bowling के लिए ball चाहिए, batting के लिए bat चाहिए. So we need batting के लिए bat, and that bat is nothing but your server. So you most need a server, guys, without which आगे काम नहीं चलेगा. I humbly request you, please arrange your server today. See if you can use your company server. This server is not usable. It's only usable for next 1 or 2 class. That's it. More than that, you can't use this. And yes, then you have to either go with this one or this one, or try yourself on internet. There are so many vendors. They will offer you server from range between 900 rupees to 1000 rupees to 1200 to 1500. But I am sure you will come back to this server, because they will not offer you the features which are offered here. All the server vendors, most of them which I explored, guys, I also tried so much to save the cost, but ultimately I realized the काम नहीं होता है. We cannot practice everything in those servers. They don't even give access. They just give server. What will I do with that server? It's a dumping of my money. $1,000 I dumped it behind those people. So I don't want to take further risk. I want to really learn properly. And 1 month is sufficient for you guys. So I think you can go with this one. It's your choice again. Nobody is forced to take a server. It's your choice. I told you all the options: free options, not free options, expensive options, your own options, options which we can provide. So it's your choice. You can decide whatever you like. So now this is a free option. You can refer this document and set up your user. But again, you can't edit anything. You can't build OData service from scratch, which we will be doing in upcoming days. Yeah, but you can just read an OData service. So this gives an OData service, and let me show you that OData service. So I just copy this URL, and there is something called SAP OPU OData. This is the free OData service this they are offering. Okay, you can see the moment I click here, the moment I enter here, I have got now my OData service. Yeah, so this is the URL. I'll put it, guys, in the PPT. It's a free OData service also offered by the free server. That's all you can do. You can just do a get of the OData service. You can't edit, you can't create, you can't test, create operations, which all we will be doing in upcoming days. So that's why, again, the option number 2 is not fully satisfying our need. But yes, about 10% of the course you can 10% of the things you can practice with this. Okay, so that's how OData service they offer. And now, guys, I'll show you how to connect our web IDE to this. So what exactly we would need to connect our web IDE to this server is we need a mediator. We need a proxy to talk. So here is our web IDE. I'm talking about web IDE personal edition. You can also do it, of course, in the cloud. So Web IDE has to connect to your SAP server. Yeah. So there is a very important thing which you would need to do is to create something called a destination file. Create a destination file. Using this destination file, Web IDE will know which server to connect. Okay. It's like creating an RFC connection in ABAP system. In ABAP, to connect to another system, you create RFC, right? Similarly, in Web IDE, to connect to SAP server, this SAP server which is there in the cloud, you need a destination file. How to create this destination file and connect our Web IDE to it? Let's watch out. So start with a notepad file. And now I will go to the documentation for SAP. I'll say SAP Web IDE destination. Search for that. And you will find a documentation for configuring the destination for Web IDE account. Help.sap.com again. I just go in there and you will find a sample code or sample file to create a destination file. So let's go ahead and check that up. This link also I'm putting it in our PPT. So let me put that. You can follow these links through. Yeah. And now you can see configuring your destination for your SAP Web IDE account. Let's come down and you would find a file here. Oops, it's not showing. It's actually showing for cloud, not for Web IDE personal edition. So let me just check. Where can we find that?
Anubhav, I believe it is under remote services. You showed me last time.
Where?
Remote services. Remote services.
No, sir. It's not here actually. Usually we get, something like this, something like this. Okay, actually we can use this one. You can see these properties we have to use. This is the configuration we have to use. Okay. Uh, so we have to use name of the destination, type, description, URL, proxy type, authentication, Web ID enabled, Web ID usage, Web ID trust all. Couple of properties are there, guys. Actually, it's not complete here. I will go back quickly and check something else. So I think it's here. No, this is again HCP. I would like to see Web ID personal edition wala. But let's try this one. Okay, again, there are some steps to configure it via HCP, HANA Cloud Platform. And maybe just come down, tutorials point, Web IDE, destination. I have lost that link actually. That link was in there. SAP Web IDE, create personal edition. Yes, destination. Let me search this. I'll give you the link directly. Installing Web IDE. Yes, this is the one, guys. This is the right one. I hope so. And now let's check it out. There is a link somewhere they must have given. Here is the link. Yes, this is the link. Ultimately we will go there. So there are a lot of materials on internet, videos. I have personally posted a couple of videos on YouTube to do that stuff, and this is the right link, I guess. And let me just replace that. And yes, we are right. So this is the file content, guys, we got to use. So just take this. I know I am against copy paste, but this one we can't do mistake. We can't afford mistake of typos. Otherwise it won't work. We have to be very meticulous and careful about it. So paste this complete content, put the system name. So here is the system is ES5. Okay. So description also I can say Anubhav's free server. That's my description of the server. Type is HTTP, trust all is true, authentication is no authentication, system is ES5, proxy type internet, and now we have to put here the URL of the server. Go back to OData and take this URL, copy that, copy this completely and put that over here. Yeah, that's our server URL. Now, if you want to know the port number with which you can use the HTTP communication, there is a transaction code called SMICM. Okay, system maintenance ICM transaction code. So where can I launch transaction code? Let me add it in your favorites. Right click, insert a transaction to my favorites. And it's called SM, system maintenance internet communication manager. This transaction code you also have access at least in this ES5 server. You can also use my destination, which I will give you. And now here there is an option to check the HTTP port for communication. So just check administration, ICM, configuration, maintenance, J2E, no. Settings, layout, let me just check system, go to HTTP plugin, application server, connections, host buffer, memory, statistic, parameters, trace file, plugins, application server, display data.
Go to services. Go to services.
Yes, let's go there. Here we should find, yes, there you go. You see port number for HTTP communication is 80. Okay, and there's another one which they have opened, 8011. So I think 80 is default, so we don't have to put anything. Yeah, now we can just simply go ahead with this one and let's see. Now next is web id uses. What is the purpose you want to use this destination from web id? I want to use it for OData consumption, OData creation, deployment of my ABAP application, deployment of my Fury application into ABAP server. So these are all the purpose. So all that purpose is also given in that same documentation. Come down, you can see these are all the different purpose: OData ABAP, OData Gen, UI5 execute ABAP, dev ABAP, BSP execute, OData access. So use all of them. Maybe I just use right now 2 of them, which is sufficient enough for me to use this current server. So OData ABAP and OData Gen, I'll use it. And now I'll put my server again. ES5 is my server name. Web ID enabled is true. Client, which is the client to which we want to talk to. So let's go and check here the destination client once again. I think it's 800. Let me just go check the server. And where can we check the client? Usually we get it at the bottom. I'm not familiar with SAP GUI much. How can I check the current client here? System status, and we should be able to see the client. Yes, it's 002 guys. Yeah, this is the client. Okay, so let's put that client up also. Now guys, the most important step when you're saving this is where most of you will do mistake and come to me, Anubhav, it's not working. What is the mistake you do commonly while saving this? Point one mistake you will do is you will not copy paste this file. It will create problem. You have to copy paste so that you don't do typos in these names. Yeah, put your server name properly. And now when you're saving it, do save with the same name. You see this name ES5, same name you have to save. Control S, save it. Where will you save? You have to save it in your web IDE directory. Okay, where is your web id directory? My web id eclipse config master service destination. Here you have to save it. Here you have to save it. And while saving, once again I'm repeating, put the same name ES5, whatever name you had in the file, put the same name and click on save. Now guys, the next most important step, 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 go back to that directory. Go back to the directory in this in the D drive my web id eclipse folder where you have web id. Go to destination. Here you find es5.txt. Can you see the .txt? It's a txt file guys. Look at here the icon से पता चल जाएगा ये txt है. Okay, you have to remove .txt. Now some of you may not see txt. The reason is your Windows setting is not showing extension. Okay, your Windows setting not showing extension. How to show extension for files? You can go to properties, sorry, not properties, you have to go to view. Okay, in the view you will see here an option in Windows, file name extension checkbox. Please, 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 please check this so that you can see file extensions over here. वरना पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि क्या काम किया क्या नहीं किया. I hope I am making it clear to everybody. Two times I've repeated the same. The file name should not have any extension. Make sure that your setting is selected to display extension in Windows. And now come here and rename this and remove the extension completely. ES5. You see, I have a couple of more other destinations. This one is for our productive server. I will share this in the training blog. You all can download and reuse it directly. This one I've created for ES file. I'll also share this in the blog. You all can download and use this if in worst case you can use my destination which I created here. Okay, now we are ready. Let's start and see it in action. I go and start my web IDE. So I start my web IDE personal edition now after putting the destination. If your web IDE is already started, do close and restart web IDE, or please refresh your web IDE page. Okay, so let's come and launch web IDE now. Go inside, put your username, password. And now I will just show you testing. I will not show you anything else right now. It becomes complicated at this point. I will just show you testing whether your destination is working or not working, whether your connectivity is fine or not fine. Sometimes make sure if you are in your company VPN, if you are in your company VPN, if you are in your company VPN, many things may not work. Be careful. Your company firewall may not allow network connections outside, so that could be a issue. So just be careful that you are not in your company VPN network. Just go to new project from template, choose any template you wish, give some name, click on next, and watch out guys, watch out here. Now you see a drop down, इसमें आ जाएगा वो entry, the destination which you saved there. An entry will come. Anybody, do you remember what was the name of, what was the description of my destination? Anybody? Do you remember what was the description of my destination? Anubhav's free server it was. Select the drop down. Voila! Anubhav's free server. Can you see that? It's popping up over here. Superb. Select that. And now it's trying to contact. Boom, there you go. You can see it's connecting to that server now. It's asking me username, password. अगर ये आ गया तो live jingle लाला. अगर ये आ गया तो live jingle लाला. Which means if it is this one, this pop-up has come, means your connection is successful. Click on sign in and it will load all the OData services, voila, which are there in that server are popping up finally here. Congratulations guys, you have successfully connected to free server into the cloud provided by SAP. Same technique applies whether you are using your company server, whether you're using your my server, whether you're using any third-party server or any third-party OData service like Northwind OData service which somebody was referring. This is the technique you will use. Create a destination file properly, save it without txt extension to the destination directory of web IDE folder, and now you are successfully connected. I will share this file with all of you in our training blog. Don't panic. Those who are not able to achieve, don't worry, don't give up. You can use the file. I'm uploading it right away. You can use our ES file. You can see already is there, ES5 client 002, that is there. I will however upload this one also, which we just created. Sorry, just go and upload that. It's in D drive, my web IDE, Eclipse folder, config master, service destination, destination ES5. This is the one. And now you will see it gets uploaded. You guys can use this, download and use this directly. I have done work for you already. Okay, this is one thing you can do. For required to our server, there are some files already in here. For our server, you see there's one file here and there's one file here for our server. I have explained already in that document what is the purpose of these files. Don't worry, just follow the document which will come along with my server. But tomorrow's class onwards, we would need a server. This is my information to all of you. From tomorrow हमको server लगेगा. अपना server arrange कर लें आज ही. Very important. If you want to practice along, if you want to really learn end to end, you have to need a server actually. You got to need a server, guys. Tomorrow's class, you would need a server. Please arrange the server. It will load with Mac also, no problem. It will work with Mac also, sir. It is tested well with the Mac, no problem. Okay. So that's it for the day. Thank you so much. Any questions before we close today's class? Many of you had questions related to server. I hope all of them got clarified today. Anubhav, what are all the options? Can we do this, that, blah, blah, blah. All that is answered, I hope, today in the single session. And now we are ready to be able to work with OData service from next class. I will show you introduction of OData once again in detail, how to perform different operations via OData, and then we will create or connect our this OData service which is coming to our productive application which we had built. Okay, so we will be connecting this to our productive application of Fiori, step by step, line by line, no copy paste. And then finally I'll show you also technique to generate the coda via template. So WebID gives you free templates to create your final application quickly with everything inside. We don't have to put all the files we had put last time manually. We don't have to do that. Everything gets created automatically by WebID. We will be discussing that technique in upcoming days. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for being there as usual, and see you tomorrow at the same time. Goodbye.